We are live here, and we're here with Dave.
Barnstable Flat Earther.
Barnstable Flat Earther. Okay, so we're going to ask a few questions about the Coriolis effect. I wonder if people know what Coriolis is. So here we go. So anyway, I'm just going to turn this around, and then hopefully try and get someone's permission. Let's go find someone. Group of kids there. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Easy target.
Yeah.
Easy target. You know. What do you think? Hi guys. Can I ask you one question? One question. Okay. The question is, what is the Coriolis? Coriolis effect. What is it?
No idea.
Okay.
No idea.
That's all I want to know. No, that's fine. That's fine. So basically, what the Coriolis is, it's meant to be the Earth is meant to be spinning. What's it? 1,000 miles per hour. Okay.
Yeah.
And that water in toilets and things are meant to drain the opposite way in the southern and northern hemisphere, and the hurricanes and cyclones are meant to be spinning in opposite ways. So have you heard of anything like this? Vaguely? So that's all we're trying to do, is we're trying to gauge public awareness and just find out what it is that you know about it.
Right.
And I'm suspecting not a lot of people know about the Coriolis, and that's all what we're trying to do, is just find out what people know. And I think, because like me, I knew nothing about it a few weeks ago. Not much about it.
Yeah.
So we're just asking questions.
What's your channel?
I'll give you a card. There you go.
Thank you.
And it's all to do with, I don't know if you heard of Flat Earth. It's all to do with Flat Earth. Okay. So we're trying to engage, because the Coriolis plays a big part in the reason that we live on a globe.
You're not a flat earther.
Oh, I am a flat earther.
Don't include me in that.
Oh, that's fine. That's okay. Yeah, because.
I have something.
Oh, okay. Let me turn that away a second. I'll just turn that away. Because.
Yeah, I don't.
No, but that's fine. I'll do that. But
No, I can't.
yeah. I'm just curious though.
I'm not scientific myself, but I come from physics.
Okay.
Is gravity selective? Yeah.
Because it's a difficult subject, but
Yeah.
but it is. I've been speaking to astrophysicists in Cambridge and Oxford, and they can't explain an awful lot of things. They haven't got a clue on about the world that we live in. I mean, when I talk to them about gravity, and when I talk to them about space and relativity and all things like
why
that.
would flat Earth make more sense gravitationally?
Because of, I mean, for gravity, it's meant to be, everything's pulling you down to the centre, and the centre's been pulling you.
Right.
Okay, but can it not just be simpler? Can it not be density and buoyancy? Wouldn't that make more sense? The simplest.
But the whole point of it spinning, that's creating. I don't know much about it, but that's.
Yeah, see, that's what I was taught at school. You know, they put water in a bucket and they spin it all. But that's centrifugal force. Things are meant to be pulling away, not in. The spinning is meant to be pushing things away. If you put water on a dinner plate on a roundabout and then span it round, does it pull in?
To the floor.
Exactly.
Does it float off as you spin it around?
Well, because that's contained. The bucket is contained.
Everything, little I do know, everything has a gravitational force. Every single item.
Okay.
It's just
How can you
strong
prove that?
is.
Science
How can
can't
you
prove
prove
that.
it's
No,
flat?
what I'm saying, science can't prove that.
They can.
Oh, how could you tell us? Because this is the thing that I researched, and science today cannot prove gravity. And that is going to blow your mind. So you look into that, they'll explain to you what it is, okay? They don't know what it is, but explain that it's two masses pulling together, but they cannot explain what it is. Is gravity on that paving slab? Is it in the centre? Is it to the left, to the right? Is it a magical force? What is it? They can't explain that part.
Do your views come from a religious standpoint?
No.
No. Okay.
Agnostic.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not an atheist, because I think that's even silly to be an atheist.
No. I'm agnostic kind of myself.
Yeah. Don't know either way.
But I do have religious family who are also scientists.
That's kind of. It's kind of weird because they don't go hand in hand. Because in the Bible and all that,
Yeah.
it actually explains so much about a flat Earth in the Bible,
But then
and
is
yet
it
it talks
representative or is it
nothing.
literal?
Well,
Because a lot of my family, they are religious, but in a representative sense. They
Yeah.
don't believe in the Genesis story word for word, but if you look at it scientifically, things were kind of created in that order. I think
Yeah.
created as such.
Yeah.
But they formed in that order.
Yeah.
So it's representative.
Because it's a difficult subject, like
Yeah.
religions, God, and things like that. I mean, like so Big Bang and
Yeah.
creationism. Like you kind of believe in all that side because
No, creationism, but the Big Bang, yeah.
you do.
I'm more of a scientific standpoint.
So everything from nothing.
Well, no, but we don't know what happened before that. How did the Big Bang form? It wasn't from nothing, clearly. Something happened. And is that going to happen again? We don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot of theories and beliefs. Isn't
It
it
is, but I'm like, okay, I know you're entitled to everything I'm saying, but I would just respectfully disagree.
No. Have you looked into it yourself though? I've given you a card, and hopefully that you could. There's some
Yeah,
videos
no.
there. I mean, like.
Yeah, no, I'll watch. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't believe in
No, you're not meant to.
Yeah.
I mean, like, because oh god, some crazy bloke come in the street to me and start talking to me about it. I'd think, oh come on, that's nonsense. I'd walk straight on. I mean, like,
no, it's interesting to hear other people's standpoints. I
Yeah.
get that, and I'm always.
I mean,
very much-
I've got proof. I have 100% proof.
How?
Okay.
What is your proof?
Okay. Well, it's not my proof. It just is.
Yeah.
Okay. Look up Pythagorean's theorem, spherical trigonometry. Just look it up.
Spherical trigonometry.
Okay, so what it is 8 inches per squared mile. There has to be a calculation for the curvature of the Earth. There has to be.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's called spherical trigonometry by Pythagorean's theorem. Okay, so you check that up, look at that, and it says for every 1 mile it becomes an 8-inch drop for every 1 mile, and then it goes 8-inch drop squared. Okay, so it goes 8 inches, then 32 inches, then 72 inches, and it just gets bigger and bigger. Stood on my local beach. Straight the way along, 15 miles, I can see Exmouth. Not only can I see Exmouth, I can see Exmouth people playing on the beach. On the beach. So I'm on the beach in Brixham, and then I can see people on the beach in. Do you know how 40 feet should be missing of Earth's curvature? Shouldn't be able to see anybody, not even at a house. I mean, think how big a tall a house is.
Yeah, but it's not going to be exactly that all the way around. Mountains.
8-inch. Yeah, but we're talking about sea level. We're talking about now sea level. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about like I'm higher or they're higher. We're talking about sea level.
It's not. No, I don't.
But yeah, but I want you to check it out. Just that one thing. Spherical trigonometry, Pythagorean's theorem. You know what you want to do? Put in flat Earth. Put in curvature calculator in Google. And then there's lots of calculators there, and you can just put on your elevation and the distance that you're seeing. Because there's footage online now that you can see 500-600 miles in front of you with infrared. 500 to 600 miles. The guy's looking, and he can see these mountains 500 or 600 miles, and you're not meant to see that. That should be miles under the curvature.
Yeah, but nothing. It's not that. The Earth isn't perfectly round.
29 miles oblate. That's what you're talking about. 29 miles oblate. That's the difference between the perfect and not perfect. 29 miles. That's not that big a deal. The thing is, once you start going through the research and you'll start seeing all these flaws, I say you can see on Blackpool, you can see the Isle of Man. Okay, that's 65 miles away.
South Wales, where I'm from, if I stand up at the beach, I can see North Devon. But I'd still.
Then put it in the calculator, because I have to say that you're a liar, because the curvature says that you should be able to.
Yeah, no, you're looking at it too simply, too
Okay,
literally.
go on.
No, you can't look at it that literally.
Go on.
You can't look at anything that literally.
There has to be a calculation for the curvature of the Earth. You just agreed with me on that.
Yeah, and
So find that calculation.
Okay.
Put them distances in.
All right, if you're looking at it that simply, then, and you've got a flat Earth, and it's a like the most typical thing that anyone says. Where's the end? How come you never get to the end? How has nobody ever got to the end?
Never been. And
And nobody's ever been?
no flat earther has ever claimed there is an edge. Not one flat earther. All you've ever heard that from is media and education and propaganda. No one has ever claimed that there's an edge. Because we are not on a planet. We are not a planet. We are a realm. We are infinite, and we just go on forever. Okay? Look, you're off. Good talking to you. Yes, I promise you I won't.
It's due in 2 days.
Just check out a guy called Robert Tim on YouTube. He's video analyzer for NASA, and he tells you that all them photos
And he's got a card for my channel
are photoshopped.
for videos.
Alright, I'll check this out.
Research your gravitational rotational path. Have a look for yourself.
I
Try and disprove yourself.
did an astrophysics course, and so
Cool.
Brilliant.
I have slightly other theories.
That's
That's brilliant. As long as you're open-minded.
It's brilliant. I tell you what, that was really cool.
Oh, I got asked to turn away right away.
She goes, are you flat earthers? I said, I've seen them before.
Oh dear.
Yeah, do you believe the earth's flat? No, I know it's flat. She's like, what? Do you think that we're stationary and everything moves? No, it's not. Sun's moving, we're moving around the sun. That's what you believe. Yeah, that's fine. But,
It's funny because they're so quick, they're like, nah, you're wrong. Like,
Right. Let's find someone else. So that was good. That's good.
like it's funny about that at the end. You definitely know, thought went in her head where she was actually thinking, wait, hang on. Like she wasn't convinced, but.
See the police looking at me there. But he's got a camera, let's do him. They're obviously up to no good.
Clock stick, do something.
Yeah, wait till I pull out my Freeman of the Earth card. I'm sorry. That's all right. I just feel like these are the two main spots, really.
Yeah, no, they're pretty solid flow of traffic.
There you go.
Yeah. So how long have you actually been doing that? Filming the street interviews and stuff?
I've never really done the actual street interviews. Like today, I just wanted some information for the Coriolis.
Yeah.
But so I haven't, and I should do more of it. I felt as though I never had any confidence to do what I do, and now having them banners behind me, I can always point to something.
Yeah.
But to just remember things off the top of my head, that's difficult. But I feel as though I should do more because I think my confidence level has just increased a little bit. It's gotten better. Yeah, your dad had no problem there, straight in.
I don't want to be on camera.
Yeah. Hey, I like this.
Yeah.
I do like this. We need to get some flat earth ones that big. And what is it? It's not just a bit of paper, is it? It's been papered.
It's a nice vinyl sticker, isn't it?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, nice vinyl sticker.
I mean, obviously, like you think, you would think that is a litter. Is that litter? Could I be? What I'm saying is that.
It's sealed litter, really.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. The Christmas has happened. Hello. Well, I think we're turning left. Are we? Oh, right. No, we can go right.
Yeah, actually. Yeah. That's a great idea. Don't be on camera, but I'm just going to take my 1,000th selfie. Online.
Yeah,
That's
that's
Facebook Live.
that's right.
Love it. My friends drink it, mate.
Let's ask this guy here. Excuse, buddy. Can I ask you one question for my YouTube channel? Is that okay? Excellent. It's nothing difficult. Have you heard of the Coriolis effect? Right, and that's what I'm expecting. That's all the answer I'm expecting is that because, yes, you're quite right, not a lot of people kind of know about this. It's to do with the rotation of the Earth and in the northern hemisphere, the atmosphere spins one way, and the southern hemisphere it spins the opposite way. So you might have heard a bit about it. Yeah. Have you got anything to say about it? Or so you don't really know. You haven't really thought a lot about it. That's what I want. That's all I want from you. Cheers, buddy. I imagine that I'll get the same reaction if I ask another 20 people. You know. Cheers, buddy. Thank you. Oh, just a quick question for my YouTube channel. Is that okay? Have you heard of the Coriolis effect?
No.
No, that's exactly what he just said. The same thing. I would have said the same thing. It's just purely to do with the northern and southern hemisphere, and the atmosphere spins one way, goes clockwise and then anti-clockwise. Yeah. That's all it is. I think you might have heard that toilets might flush one way and toilets flush the opposite way. You've heard of that, okay? And we're just asking people what they know about it and if they've heard much. And
I know it happens, but I didn't know what it was called.
right. Okay. There you go. Thank you. There you go. Right, can you hold that for a second? Because I need to get a battery on this.
Crazy that.
Are they gonna go with it? Are they gonna rebel? Like,
Yeah, well, I knew he was into it, so I thought, if we go to any meetings,
I turned the brightness low.
Yeah, no, that's awesome little handle. That's nice.
I'm gonna have to turn that one off for a second. Okay. And then what we'll do is. I'm not ready.
1 second.
Yeah, I ran out of battery. Okay. So let's just turn that one back on. And there you go. So it's just one quick question, and that is, have you heard of the Coriolis effect? No, and that's the answer I'm expecting, because I imagine if I ask 20 people, not a lot of people have heard it. It's to do with the Earth's rotation, and because it spins one way, and then up in the north it spins clockwise and then anti-clockwise in the southern regions. That's the atmosphere. You might have heard that toilets flush one way in the northern and flush the opposite way. And we're just trying to see what people know about it. Do they believe in it? You know, is it a thing? Is it real? That's what we're trying to find out. And
I would say what I heard, I believe, yes.
okay.
Which is what you just mentioned,
Yeah. I'd like you to go, when you go away, try and do some research on it. Okay, and you'll find that it's probably not a real thing. But well, not society. No. But you're quite right. I am a flat earther, and we're asking sort of evidence about the Coriolis and what people actually know about it, because it's to do with flat Earth and do we live on a globe? Right. So we're just asking questions. Okay. Thank you very much for being kind. Thank you.
I love how people just imagine just
That's right. Oh.
that's like saying all religions are the same.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Oh, there you go. That's this chap here. There you go. Can I ask you a quick question for my YouTube channel? One question. Yeah. Is that okay?
No, I don't know.
No, that's okay. That's all right.
Sorry.
Not a problem. Is it? Oh no, it's okay. Oh, all right. Yeah, you know what it is? I need battery power, and my cable is interfering with.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because you're not meant to have a cable on though when you're charging.
I was going to say, it's a bit precarious anyway.
Yeah.
Hanging out the end there.
I think what I'll do is, it's really annoying. It's just as you say, it gives me a little bit of credibility having this.
Yeah, true.
No, that's right. It won't. Let's ask someone.
Also like nukes.
Won't. It won't. Let's ask someone.
Also like nukes and stuff
Guys.
like that.
Right. So, excuse guys, can I ask you one question for my YouTube channel?
You can ask him.
Is that okay? Yeah. Put you on the spot. Cheers. It's a very simple question. What do you know of the Coriolis effect? No. And that's I'm expecting that. I've asked 3 or 4 people already, and same answer.
Is it as simple as your stick about the flat Earth?
It's how white people are guessing. Yes, it is, and it's purely about that. And I just want to see what people actually know about it, because it's big evidence why we are on a globe. Know about it because it's big evidence why we are on a globe. And thing is, nobody knows a lot about the Coriolis effect, and I'm just trying to get some clarification about this magical Coriolis.
To be fair, I don't know a lot about it at all. From what friends have said and stuff about it, I don't really have an opinion, because I don't know enough to say. So, at first, to be completely honest, thought it was a load of rubbish.
Right.
Being completely honest.
Yeah.
But I haven't done enough research or anything to really say. So,
Yeah.
I don't really know.
Well, here's a card, and you can do some research on it.
Yeah, cool.
You know, like it's an interesting subject, and we're just opening dialogue with people about the Coriolis.
Yeah, that's cool.
There you go. Cheers, buddy. Thanks very much. There you go.
These ladies feel like they don't standardly come like this.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's just I seem a bit engrossed. Do you understand what I'm on about? I didn't think a lot of people know about this.
No.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I would have ever heard of Coriolis effect.
I
if
didn't
hadn't
till the
been
pub.
into-
Really?
So earlier, till you said that word, I never heard of it. Obviously, I knew about the theory and how it all works.
Yeah.
Flashing.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about the word you said until you said it earlier. So I wasn't aware.
I find that amazing, you know, because I personally, I actually had heard about it, but I didn't fully understand it.
I've heard of it within.
Oh. So, I've got a YouTube channel. I just want to ask one question, if that's okay. Yeah? Okay. What do you know, and it's okay if you don't know, what do you know about the Coriolis effect? Well, okay, I've asked about 5 people so far, and that's exactly the same response I got from everybody. It's just purely to do with Earth being a globe and it's spinning on an axis. Sorry? Okay. That's called the Magnus effect. Well, that's a good one, actually, and they're very similar related, because basically what they're saying is that if snipers are shooting, let's say 1,000 yards, you know, like, and they make that shot, the Earth is spinning underneath them, so they have to counteract that Coriolis effect. But it's not the same. I mean, like, so what that is the Magnus effect, because inside the rifle of a gun, it's spiraling, and the bullet's spiraling out, and it does, you know, bend it back like Beckham. They kick a ball and it swerves in. It's called the Magnus effect. So it's not Coriolis, but like we kind of we associate snipers with the Coriolis effect, and it's not true. So we're just asking people's reactions and what they know about the Coriolis. No, you're the closest that's got. At least you came up with Magnus effect. So there you go. So basically, it'll go on that site there. So and there's plenty of videos in there, and you'll be able to see what it is that we're all about. And think for yourself. Nice talking to you. Cheers, buddy. And it's good. It's an opener. I mean, every person I could carry on further to talk about flat Earth, but at the end of the day, if I've given a card out, that's good enough. They'll figure it out themselves.
And I mean, it's sort of. I mean, actually, what you just said actually just resonated with me about the snipers and the Earth moving underneath them. Well, that actually negates their whole argument, then, doesn't it? Because if they're spinning and everything's moving with you anyway, there would be no Coriolis effect.
No, that's right. That's right. It's nonsense.
Yeah.
It's absolute nonsense.
Which is
That's actually mad.
yeah.
It's as simple as that. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that young girl, astrophysicist, whatever.
Yeah.
I said, so why does a helium balloon rise? She went, because it's lighter than the air. I said,
So
exactly.
you know. That's what I've been
So why
saying.
does
You know.
something drop? Can we ask you guys a question?
One question. Can I ask it for my YouTube channel?
It's not dangerous.
Yes.
Yeah, what question is
Excellent. All it is, and lots of people don't know, and so you're okay to not know this. What is, and do you know? Well, do you know what the Coriolis effect is?
Who are you asking? Me or her?
Oh, but either of you. You're both there.
No, I don't.
No. Okay. And And that's the response that we're expecting, because it's meant to be a big claim that the Earth's spinning 1,000 miles an hour, and that the atmosphere, hurricane, cyclones spin one direction from the northern hemisphere to the southern hemisphere, but not a lot of people know about it. Now, have you heard of toilets flushing the opposite way in the northern and in the southern, flushing the opposite way? Right, well, I'm expecting that. So that's okay, and that's all my question is. It's just to find out what your opinion is. Have you ever heard of the Coriolis? Excellent.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So it's a huge argument of why we are on a globe, and no one knows about it.
No. Well, the thing is, what amazed me is the amount of people that will argue with you, but then they don't know the circumference, they don't know the speed.
There you go.
They don't know anything about the model that they so dearly defend, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like you said, a lot of people have heard of, you know, the rotation between the northern and the southern hemisphere in water, supposedly.
Excuse me, can I ask you one question for my YouTube channel? Just one little question. It's for my YouTube channel.
For it, to be on it.
Yes? No, that's okay then. Don't get to know the question then. I'd be itching all day. What was you going to ask?
Yeah. You know, like I'm like, I reckon I'd say before I was aware of all this and I watched the videos.
Yeah, I would have.
I
would have told me to get
I'm
lost.
really camera shy. I don't like my phone being taken at all.
To be fair, but I'm just amazed how.
I'd be too curious. Like, so what was he going to ask?
Yeah.
Just everywhere, innit? Yeah. Can't avoid it.
Yeah.
Look at the size of America. Jeez, it's all the way down the side of the ball.
Right.
Yeah, and like when you show them pictures of, you know, the 2012 and the 2013 picture where America's different sizes, they're just like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
they just, oh well, it could be taken from a different angle, could
Yes.
be further away, it could
Yeah.
be this, could be that. Well, it's not, is it? It's there, right in front of you.
Well, the moon now, I'm mesmerised, because I feel like I could fly there today, tomorrow.
Exactly. Just touch
Mesmerised on it.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me, could I ask you one question for my YouTube channel?
Go on then.
One question. Excellent. All it is, and lots of people don't know, so you'll be in good company if you don't know. What is the Coriolis effect?
I've heard of it, but I can't tell you.
Okay, would you have heard of it if I say toilets flush one way in the northern hemisphere and flush the opposite way in the southern hemisphere?
I've probably seen it on a Blue Planet programme, haven't I?
But you're in good company, because not a lot of people know about it. It's basically, if the Earth is spinning, one way, that when things lift the ground, you know, like that, the Earth should spin below them.
Right.
But there's a contradictory. So snipers, when they fire a bullet at 1,000 yards and that, they have to adjust for the Coriolis because the Earth is spinning below them.
Oh, right, okay.
But aeroplanes, when landing over a longer distance, they don't have to.
Right.
So it's a bit of a contradictory thing that's going on. So we're asking people what they know about it. Have they heard of it? And you are in good company, as I say. Yeah, you're in good company. I imagine when you go away, you're going to research the Coriolis effect. There you go. Grab that one. Bye-bye. Oh, it's for my YouTube channel. Is that okay?
Yes.
Right, all we're doing is asking, what do you know of the Coriolis effect?
Nothing.
You're in good company then.
See, that's something to do with your eyes, isn't it? No?
No, no. It's meant to be to do with the rotation of Earth underneath your feet if you jumped up. Okay, so if you jumped up, the Earth should be spinning at 1,000 miles an hour underneath you if you're at the equator.
Yeah.
And it's kind of contradictory.
And land in a different country.
Well, apparently they made the airships, you know, like made them and thought that they could rise them and then all of a sudden wait a few hours and America would come to them, which is not quite true, is it?
No, going a bit too far, isn't it?
Well, so what they're suggesting is that the toilets flush the opposite way in the northern hemisphere to the southern hemisphere. Snipers, when they fire a bullet, Earth is rotating underneath that bullet because it's left the left the ground, stationary ground, but aeroplanes don't have to compensate.
Oh, well, because they're above the.
So it's kind of. Well, I mean, but aeroplanes still come down the same height as a trajectory of a bullet.
Okay, so what are you saying?
Well, what we're saying is that Coriolis has been misinterpreted. Coriolis is a real thing, but it's like me and you being on a merry-go-round, and if I throw a roundabout, if I throw a ball to you, Dave would end up catching it, even though I'm throwing it to you, because as it spins round, he would get the ball. Okay, so Coriolis is a real thing, but it's been misinterpreted for the rest of things. Like for the atmosphere. Apparently, we have cyclones.
I'm losing interest there.
I'm sorry.
I'm thinking I'm going to have to pay 2 hours on my account.
No, that's okay. But a lot of people don't know. You're in good company with a lot of people.
Yeah, well, I should go and look it up.
Coriolis effect.
Nice to talk to you.
All right then. Bye bye.
Nice when people will stop and
Yeah, yeah.
not shy or anything.
I think the thing is, I must remember as well. Like sometimes you can talk a little bit too scientific about things, and oh, for God's sake, we just shut up. Because you can drift off if you're not interested.
But the thing is, I don't think you were there. If I was hearing it for the first time, I wouldn't have been like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
Makes total sense,
Yeah. But
At least you gave us a minute, didn't she?
Yeah, it's very funny. When
sorry, it'll all be edited.
it's very funny when you sort of catch people, in a moment, going about their business and stuff.
But now that you've kind of heard about the Coriolis effect, do you find it surprising that other people haven't heard of it?
Well,
Not really. I was going to say
I think
before.
you're only going to hear about it if you get into the truther community, to be fair, and you start researching stuff.
I was going to say before.
Or if you're in the army.
It's like with all this stuff.
Lads, can we ask you a question?
Oh yeah.
One question?
No, I was just giving £1,000 away. It's okay.
I was going to say before, like a lot of these people will, defend the globe and not know how their own perception and their own eyes work and stuff. And with the terminology, like the Coriolis effect, when you say to people, have you heard of water, flushing a different way on the northern hemisphere to the southern hemisphere?
Yeah.
80% of people will say, I've
right.
heard of that happening.
But not unsure why.
The terminology of these words and things, people just aren't into it.
No,
they're
that's
not
right.
interested. They'll get fed, wishy-washy excuses to why this happens and why this happens.
Yes.
And these people have to account for this sort of effect happening, and that's it. They'll just perfectly leave it as it is and not worry about the terminology and stuff. I mean, I am relatively surprised.
She wasn't that much in a hurry.
I haven't heard about the Coriolis effect. They're like, no, I haven't heard of it. I'd expect them to hear it and not know what it is.
Yes.
But I think a lot of the terminology stuff, so people aren't really too into
maybe
it,
we
are
should
they?
try that then, Jason.
Yeah.
Try saying, have you heard the toilets flush different ways in the north?
Yeah. And do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Very good. That's a great way to do it. Let's
You are good at some stuff.
let's change it up. Yeah, I like that. Let's do that. Oh.
One question for the YouTube, like, no, I don't want to go on that.
It's the beard. Oh dear.
Terrorist.
I didn't say that.
I know.
I was polite. Oh dear. Because my son's got he's got a huge beard. He's a big lad, my son, and he's got a huge beard. He is, and my dad is a oh, excuse me, buddy. 30 seconds. Yeah, sorry, it's for my YouTube channel. It's just one question. Is that okay? Toilets flush the opposite way in the northern hemisphere to the southern hemisphere. Have you heard about that?
No.
Oh, so you don't know what that would be?
No.
Okay. Have you heard of the Coriolis effect?
No, I haven't either.
That's all we wanted to know.
Okay.
That was it. Thank you.
I wouldn't want to be on his bus. He was done right. He was special, wasn't he?
Did you see the car? Like, I thought it was a wasp.
Is that what that was? Very good, very good. Yeah. I didn't want to ask him. Oh, that's. I was just trying to. I lost my bearings there for a second. Sorry. Yeah, it's just a quick question for my YouTube channel, and it's nothing evasive. It's just one little question. Can I ask it? Yeah. Good. And I've asked it for about 10 people so far, and no one knows what it is. So we're just asking, does anyone know what this is? Okay. In the Northern Hemisphere, toilets are supposedly spin the opposite way to the Southern Hemisphere. They spin the other way, so we're told. Do you know what that would be called? Okay, so we're told that this is called the Coriolis effect. Have you heard of the Coriolis effect? No. And that's all we wanted to hear.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
So there you go.
Excuse me, guys. Can we ask you one question?
For my YouTube channel, would that be okay? And maybe as a group, maybe one of you know this, okay? We are told that there's meant to be the toilet spin in the Northern Hemisphere clockwise and anti-clockwise in the Southern Hemisphere. Does anyone know what that would be called? What that effect would be called? Okay, because you're in good company, because not a lot of people know. Well, we're told this is called the Coriolis effect. Has anyone heard of that?
No.
And that's all we needed to ask.
No.
We're trying to find out this. Thank you. The Coriolis effect, and there you go. People don't know what the Coriolis effect is.
Can I ask you a question?
One question for my YouTube channel. Would that be okay?
No,
no, you don't need to.
Wait.
What it is that we're told that there's an effect going on when toilets are spinning one way in the Northern Hemisphere, and in the Southern Hemisphere they spin the opposite way. Do you know what that effect would be called? No. No? Have you heard of the Coriolis effect?
I don't think that's really...
No, that's quite okay then. But you haven't heard of the Coriolis effect? No. All right then, buddy. Thank you. Yeah, I don't think he understood full stop. Yeah. But that's okay, I'll use it. Nice.
Someone in the comments be like, he didn't understand either.
There you go. Let's ask this guy here. Excuse me, buddy. I'm asking a couple of questions for my YouTube channel. Can I ask you one question? Okay. And it's okay if you don't know, because a lot of people don't know. In the Northern Hemisphere, toilets are meant to spin one way, and in the Southern Hemisphere, they're meant to spin the opposite way. Have you heard of this?
I haven't.
Okay. So you don't know what it would be called, that effect?
No.
Right. So it's called the Coriolis effect.
Okay.
Have you heard of that?
I haven't.
Oh, excellent, and that's all we kind of wanted to know. It's to do with snipers. When they take a shot, they're meant to fire their bullet, and then what happens is they have to aim to miss, because the Earth's rotation is moving below the bullet. The Earth is, so therefore they would miss their target. So they have to counter that. Okay, so that's what's meant to happen, but it doesn't kind of make sense when aeroplanes, when they're landing, that they don't have to change their direction, and they don't allow for the Coriolis effect. And we find that a little bit contradictory, you know. So we're trying to say, is the Coriolis a real thing, or not? And it seems contradictory. What do you think?
I think it possibly is.
Okay.
But that's more because based on what you're saying, like magnetic fields, the way they work and react. Okay. And the way that the North Star repel and stuff like that. Yeah. So perhaps they've got something that they...
Maybe that's got something to do with it.
The way they land, perhaps they've got something that kind of attracts the way they're going, I don't know.
You may be right. Okay, that's it. We're just thank you very much. Thank you. All right, so I'm just asking questions from my YouTube channel. It's one question.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know if I'm going to answer. It's going to go on TV.
Oh no, just YouTube. All it is we're told that in the northern hemisphere, toilets are meant to flush one way,
Okay, yeah,
and in the southern hemisphere, it's meant to flush the other way. Okay. Do you know what that effect is called?
No.
Okay. We're told that it's called the Coriolis effect. Heard of that?
No, but that sounds like a good name for something.
Okay. So basically, it's about in the northern hemisphere, cyclones and hurricanes. They're meant to spin one way, and in the southern, they're meant to spin the opposite way. And we're trying to say, is that a real thing? Is there any proof to this? And why? And what is it? Is it Coriolis? Do people understand what the Coriolis is? And have they heard of it? And I've asked about 15 people so far, and you are in good company with all 15.
Yes. I've never heard it called the Coriolis effect. I've heard that that's what happens.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever been south of the equator, so I've never checked it out myself.
That's a good answer.
But I'm sceptical.
Right. Even better answer. Excellent.
Okay,
Thank you very much. Yeah, well, there you go. Can't get better than that.
Isn't it nicer when people are sceptical? They don't just go, yeah, I heard it on the telly.
I forgot my flat earth stickers there on the thing. Well, when I did the first guy, I kind of thought, how does he know? I jumped straight to flat earth. How does he know that?
Now the sticker's got them.
Because it was to reinforce. So as you're talking to people, it was always to reinforce. Research flat earth, research flat earth. Subliminal programming. Oh yes. There you go. Right, so that's as easy as that. So yeah, I might come out and use a different approach. I might use a different experiment next time. Have you heard of the Cavendish experiment?
Mm-hmm.
So it is a good opener. This a good way of just talk about one specific thing.
Yeah.
It's a great opener.
Yeah, I definitely think that's the route to go down as well. Like, go for one specific front.
Well, I can't wait to go on your YouTube channels now to see what you've done next week. I can't wait. So let's ask this gentleman here, because he's asking for it. Excuse me, can I ask you one question for my YouTube channel? Just one question? Yeah? I just want to ask you one question. All it is have you heard of the Coriolis effect? Okay, and that's the answer that I kind of was expecting to hear. I've asked about 15 people this, and you're in good company because I think you're number 16. So not a lot of people. It's you've heard of maybe toilets flushing one way in the northern hemisphere and flushing the opposite way in the southern hemisphere. And we're just asking. We're trying to see, is that a thing? Is it real? And have people heard of it? Could it be real? Because snipers are meant to adjust for the Coriolis effect. Like when they fire a round and it fires, straight, they have to adjust for the earth spinning below that bullet. And we're trying to say, well, is that real? I mean, so this is called the Coriolis effect.
I don't know about bullets, but certainly sinks.
Sinks and toilets, they go kind of the opposite way. Excellent. That's all we want to know. Thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, so people have heard of like sinks and maybe toilets and all that. Yes, they've heard of it. Haven't fully understood what the name was.
Well, it never really gets taught. It just gets briefly mentioned in science, and it never actually gets taught or explained, does it? It's just sort of one of them things, a little fact or whatever they want to try call it, which isn't actually a fact, and they just try and chuck it in.
These uni students are telling me that gravity is a fact.
Yes.
I'm just like, it's called the theory of gravity because it's a theory. It's a
Again, I've argued with a lot of science people. I don't know if you've done the same, Jason, where they bring up the definition of what a theory is.
I've had this quite a lot.
Yeah.
And for me, I think that is just a twist. It's a semantics. It's a twist. It's a play on words. It's rubbish.
It's our best founded idea of the time. I mean, who has the authority to say what's the best idea?
No.
Because I think it's a stupid idea.
Yes. Yes.
So therefore it wouldn't be a theory, would it? 'Cause
Yeah.
it's not the best idea we've got. I'd say density versus buoyancy is a much better theory.
There you
than gravity.
go. There you go. It is. It is. And I've been saying, like, well, what is a theory? I mean, like, I come up with. I'm going to have my theory now that tree is made of blancmange.
Yeah.
You know, so Dan's going to back me up here, and he's going to say, well, yeah, it's kind of blancmange, but it's slimy blancmange.
Yeah.
You know, like, so that's the best theory that we have so far. And then Dave comes along and he says, nah, it's not blancmange. I've had it all tested. It's jelly, just jelly.
He's the authority.
So he's now the authority. It's jelly. It's semantics. It's a play on words. These theory nonsense. So I don't buy into it. No. Oh. Can I ask you one quick question? And it's for my YouTube channel. Just one question.
Okay.
And it's nothing divisive or anything like that.
All right.
Do you know what the Coriolis effect is? Okay, and you're in good company. I've asked. Yes. I've asked about 15 people. You're probably number 17. I've asked 16 people. So, yeah, no, it's meant to be. You've heard of maybe basins that are full of water that they go when the plug's taken out. They would go down the drain one way in the northern hemisphere, and in the southern hemisphere it's meant to be the other. You've heard of that?
Yeah.
That's called the Coriolis effect. That's what people say, but we think it's been misinterpreted because that isn't what the Coriolis is. You know, like, so we're just trying to clarify it with a few people and say, you know, like, have you heard of it? Do you know about it?
I have heard about the football.
You have heard it, okay, but it's not Coriolis. I'll give you my card.
All right.
And then hopefully, or in a few days, you'll be able to research. There'll be a new video on there, and it'll be all about the Coriolis. All right, thank you. There you go.
I like seeing people's initial reaction when you say it. Like they don't know whether you're attacking them or whether you're asking.
That's it. That's it. So how many people do you think I got then? I've got over 10 people, have I?
Yeah, no, I'd say you.
Yeah. Oh, in that case, that's all I needed. So do you just want a quick drink somewhere, just to finish? So if I stop that one.